Now, on that note, let me actually invite now and introduce Julia Golden. Julia Golden is the Chief Product and Marketing Officer of Lego, and she is also the co-chair of the CMO, Global CMO Growth Council's working team on talent development. So please join me in welcoming Julia. Julia, over to you.
Hello, I'm Julia Golden. I'm a Chief Product and Marketing Officer at the Lego Group. And I'm also very proud to be a member of CMO Growth Council and the co-chair of the CMO Growth Council Committee focused on talent development. On behalf of myself and my co-chair, Elizabeth Rutledge of American Express, I want to welcome you to this first ever Global Day of Learning. I want to tell you a little bit about the focus that we have in the Talent Development Committee. We are focused on 3 key areas. 1, to bring diversity and inclusion into our marketing industry around the world so we can properly reflect the world which we serve and the key audiences that are as diverse as inclusive as the whole world itself. Secondly, we focus on bringing in more talent into the marketing industry and making marketing and learning marketing more attractive to more students around the world. And third, we focus on talent development, and that's what today is all about. So why is talent development so crucial in our industry? Well, because we live in a world that is rapidly changing around us. And these changes reflect themselves in the way we go to market, in the way we plan our media, in the way that we connect and understand our consumers, in the way that we create value. Marketing continues to sit at the heart, at the cross-section between consumer understanding and true deep insight about the audiences that we serve, and creation of value that we do with our companies every day, and thereby creation of value and growth for our whole industry and for the world. But in order to do that, we have to stay abreast and on top of the changes that are happening. We have to continuously improve ourselves and build our capabilities. And this doesn't just include marketers in our companies. It includes you, it includes all of your teams, but also the whole marketing value chain, whether it's suppliers, it's agencies, it's freelancers. We want to make sure that all of us together are continuously to step up and change our game in order to continue to stay ahead and stay relevant and engaging to people around the world that we serve. All of these changes that are happening require us to continuously develop our own skills. And that means that we need to dedicate time to training and development. And that's why we want to take today as a full 24-hour day dedicated to training and development inside our marketing organizations and across our whole marketing value chain. We want to make sure that you take the time for yourself. We want to make sure that you actually understand the importance of learning, and we want to make sure to raise this awareness in all companies, for all team leaders and everybody to benefit from the learning capability, training, creativity, new ideas. And therefore, ANA has pulled a super exciting program that allows you to be exposed to new things and allows us to learn from each other as rapidly as we can. And to tell you more about this exciting program, I want to turn you over to Bob Liadici, the CEO of the Association of National Advertisers. Have an amazing day.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Julia. I greatly appreciate that, and always great to hear from you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Marketing's Global Learning Day. This is a global call to action, and it comes from a groundswell of top CMOs reconciling with the rapid transformation of business culture and capabilities. By bringing together today's marketing, business, and academic leaders to share best practices, powerful case histories, practical solutions, and research, the ANA and the Global CMO Growth Council is helping the entire industry to address the challenge of today's recovery together. The Global Day of Learning is one complete 24-hour period where the entire industry focuses on training, development, culture, innovation, creativity, and new ideas. All these sessions are virtual and accessible at no cost to anyone in the industry who registers, including professionals and students alike. Participants can build their own agendas for themselves or together with their teams. Options include on-demand content that is available throughout the day, with self-paced courses, webinars, group workshops, and research. All are available for download for the entirety of this 24-hour period. So where did all this come from? I'd like if we could bring up the Global Growth Agenda. Now, this agenda was developed in concert with the Global CMO Growth Council, which was established in 2018 in partnership with Cannes Lion. And what this is about is to be able to advance the global initiatives to help our industry drive even more growth. If you look at the lower left-hand quadrant, there is an entire section that is devoted to talent in marketing organization. And the reason that we do this is to be able to recognize that our success, brand success, our business success, all of our success begins with people. Begins with the ability to ensure that we all have the tools and the resources, the capabilities and assets to be able to make better marketing decisions. And that only comes through exposure to this broad and complex universe of marketing. It is very simple and it is as complex as that. But we have so much to learn because this universe changes daily. And Global Day of Learning is something that is an important jumpstart for the entire universe to take that pause and to be able to achieve one simple objective. And that is for all of us collectively to train the world. And it looks like we're off to a great start. Over 11,000 of you registered and will be here throughout the course of the day. And those individuals are from over 80 countries. So we truly have a global impact. And we're delivering on our end to curate the world's leading content and learning resources for you and your teams with, as I mentioned before, 24 hours of programming, including 35 scheduled sessions, 5 full-length workshops led by some of the ANA's top instructors, 10 e-learning programs, the first ever Growth Agenda Learning Certificate Program, and over 200 pieces of content from top brands, researchers, and subject experts from around the world. We have content from top brands including P&G, MasterCard, LVMH, Lego, AB InBev, Amazon, Nike, Google, Facebook, Twitter, Microsoft, and Yahoo. We have instructors from top academic institutions including Yale, Wharton, and Harvard. We have the very best from Cannes Lion, the world's gold standard in creativity. We have research from Morning Consult, the Harris Poll, and Deloitte. We have participating agencies like Dentsu and WPP. And we will also get to attend a private meeting of CHER's membership. And CHER is the organization belonging to the ANA that is focused in on gender equality. And just recently, our fellow associations, the 4As and the IAB, have also joined and are contributing content for the day, making this a cross-industry effort. Truly, this is an unprecedented lineup and a day full of learning that we hope you'll make the time to fully leverage for your own personal and professional development. So today, make sure you carefully review the agenda on your event website. Register for all that you can, whether it be one of the live workshops, a keynote from the master's track, or from downloading on-demand content. Please make sure you take that time to invest in yourselves, because as you develop, we all develop and we all get better to be able to achieve our respective growth objectives. And one individual that has done a masterful job at growing is our chairman, the chairman of the Global Growth Council and the chief brand officer from P&G. Please welcome Mark Pritchett.
Thank you, Bob. And hello, everyone. Thank you all for taking the time out of your incredibly busy schedules to join us for Marketing's Global Day of Learning. This is an important day to invest in yourselves, which we hope will be useful for you and which in turn will be good for the people you serve, your brands, your companies, and ultimately for our collective marketing industry. In my view, there's never been a better time to be in marketing. The work we do is incredibly important. We're the caretakers of brands and companies that serve every person on the planet in multiple ways and in multiple industries. We establish the purpose, values, and strategies for our brands and companies. We understand the needs of our consumers, address those needs with superior offerings on our brands, and bring the promises of those brands to life with brilliant creativity and innovation. And that creates value for the people we serve, for our employees, for the owners and shareholders of our companies, and for society as a whole. Marketing is one of the most rewarding professions in the world. At the same time, while we focus on creating growth and value for today's world, it's our job to look ahead to see what's coming and invent for tomorrow's world. We're constantly dealing with massive disruptions that are happening in our industry in data, analytics, technology, media, advertising, content, retailing, culture, society, the environment, you name it, it's disrupting. And our role is to see around corners, to get ahead of those disruptions by leading them in a constructive way, to constantly reinvent marketing and create the future for sustained growth and value. What we do is always changing. So we need to be always learning so we can be always leading. That's one of the reasons why every 18 months, I fire myself and then I rehire myself so I can start fresh with a new outlook on the future. Now, doing this enables me to still honor and consider the knowledge of the past while providing an opportunity for a fresh view of the possibilities that can be created for the future. Now, you don't need to fire and rehire yourself if you don't want to, but the Global Day of Learning is a day when you can take a pause, learn about what exists that you can apply now, and identify what you can do to invent the future. Today is about equipping you with knowledge, insight, and actions to help you lead, create, and innovate, navigate in a world that's driven by data analytics and digital technology, and be a force for good in society while being a force for growth in business. You'll hear from CMOs and industry experts on best practices to best help you operate at your full potential, but most importantly, to take action so we can drive growth in our industry. It's an opportunity for you to listen, learn, and develop plans on what you can do to develop yourself and make a greater impact. So get ready to listen, learn, and take action. There's never been a more challenging time, and there's never been a better time to be in marketing. And I'm looking forward to always learning and always leading with all of you. Thank you.
Here, Mark. That's outstanding. I have to tell you, I've never heard the phrase firing yourself every 18 months and rehiring yourself. That is a phenomenal philosophy. You know, P&G has always been one of the leading marketers in the world, and it comes from great people. How do you look upon your staffs, and how do you kind of inculcate that constant desire to learn and to be able to grow?
You know, we really take the mindset that constantly building our capabilities as brand builders is really core to how we operate. It's why I talked about always learning, always leading. You know, there was once someone who in our team, FD Wilder, who said the fastest learner wins. So learning is part of the way we operate, and we really try to create a learning culture, not a knowing culture. Now, what that does, of course, is in addition to what we do on the job, is that we have a constant flow of training, workshops, and events to help our brand builders win today and invent tomorrow. So we have a brand university, for example, which is an online university with this deep library of knowledge that people contribute to, that everybody can draw from. We have colleges at every level. Each region has their own set of colleges as well as knowledge, and each business unit does the same thing. We have something called a Brand Power Hour every quarter where we share case studies on what's hot and what's important. We have the annual Signal Conference to bring the outside in, a Best of Brand Awards that we do every year to reward the best brand building results, and that also inspires people. And then, importantly, Bob, we have access to external, and we create that access. As you know, we've created a direct connection with A&A, so we can get all the best benefit of the A&A's learning library. I was blown away when I went and visited your team several years ago and saw this incredible library of knowledge, and I said, let's connect here. And then in addition to conferences like A&A Media, Measurement Masters, Multicultural, CAN, WFA, IAB, all those things, that's how we create this culture of learning. And but it's also learning and acting so we can actually drive growth.
You know, phenomenal perspective. And not everyone is P&G, obviously, so you obviously have great capabilities and breadth. To those that are in small and medium-sized businesses, what would you suggest that they do in terms of being able to develop that culture, which doesn't always come naturally when you're battling to become a big brand or a big company like P&G?
It's, you know what, Bob, it's a great question. It's take the mindset that you're going to get outside of your walls and you're going to learn constantly. It's something that we do very, very deliberately in our company, is that always be outside learning. And look, it's as simple as attending conferences. It's as simple as connecting to things like the Day of Learning. It's just, going out and visiting new companies. And so just seeing how other companies are doing things, including your own suppliers, your own agencies, and your own teams. It's an amazing what you can learn by just taking the mindset that you're going to learn. And then, of course, there is if you can connect to A&A. There's a rich set of resources that allow you to be able to gain a lot of knowledge. And so, and I say that because we've benefited from that. Even though ours is a big company, we have benefited from making that connection. And if you're not part of the A&A, then connect to Cannes Lion, connect to WFA, IAB, 4As, wherever it might be. Find ways to be able to bring the outside in. And you will learn a lot, and then you can apply it to your business and your strategies and grow.
You have such a unique viewpoint, Mark, being able to see the marketing landscape the way that you do, and the areas that you get involved in. I've seen it firsthand, watching you navigate, being the chairman of the A&A board. Question I often get is, what do I think about first? What should we be zeroing in on? And I know that much of that is a personal choice. But from the P&G standpoint, and in the things that you've learned over the years, where do you see P&G employees requiring the greatest need in terms of the learning, especially in this very fast, complex world?
Bob, first and foremost, my advice is really identify what is the purpose of your company and what is the core offering of your company. So get focused on the core. What do we offer? We offer products of superior quality and value that are cleaning, health, and hygiene products, and we're focused on making the lives of the world's consumers better, and that in turn then enables us to be able to do good for our employees, suppliers, partners, shareholders, and the communities in which we live and work. But you start there, and then that enables you to focus on what do you need to know and learn to constantly figure out how you can provide a better offering, whether it be a product or a service. And that then starts with understanding who you serve. Who you serve. We have a very simple mantra. It's called who, what, how. Who do we serve? Who are the consumers that we serve, and what are their needs? What are the jobs to be done, the problems to be solved? And what? What does our brand stand for? What does it need to deliver? What's its superior benefit? And then it's how. How do you bring that to life with superior products, packaging, communications, retail execution, and retailer and consumer value? It's a very simple strategy. It's hard to execute. It's hard to stay ahead. But by understanding what your consumers want, or your viewers, or whoever your guests, or whoever that may be, then translating that into how you can create a superior offering. And in our case, from a marketing standpoint, how we can offer superior marketing, communications, content, media, whatever the case may be, then that's how you can keep learning and keep getting better and better. And look, you don't need a lot of money and a lot of resources to go talk with consumers. That's where you can learn so much, and where you can really then figure out what it is that you need to be able to deliver.
One of the things that I learned directly from you, and essentially has become almost the rallying cry of the industry, is to think about our respective brands as being a force for good and a force for growth. And, prior to hearing that for the first time, I honestly didn't necessarily think about a force for good being connected to a force for growth. I would have naturally defaulted to brand and media and technology as kind of my first priorities. But you and P&G and a few other companies embraced the focus in on society and sustainability. and to use that platform as embracing a relationship with the consumer in a very different kind of way. Could you give us a little perspective on your learning in that area and how you've spread that across the P&G culture?
Yeah, I think it's very, very clear that the people we serve are expecting more from brands and companies. They're expecting us to do good for society, good for communities. They're expecting us to step up and for equality and inclusion, and to make sure that our operations are driving equality and inclusion. They're expecting us to do good for the environment, and then they're also expecting just the basic foundation of ethics and corporate responsibility. And so what that in our company has done is created a set of priorities that we call our citizenship priorities. And to the point you made, it's about being a force for good in society while also being a force for growth in business. And you need to do both. Because if you're just a force for good, that's philanthropy. And we're in business. There's nothing wrong with philanthropy. Philanthropy is wonderful, but most of us on this call are in business, and we're not a nonprofit charity. Right. So we need to make sure that good leads to growth. If you're just a force for growth and don't do any good, that is insufficient, because there's a lot of people that count on all of our companies. They count on, there's our employees, their families, consumers we serve, the communities in which we operate, the partners, the retailers, all those, they count on us. So we need to do both. But good needs to lead to growth, and growth then can lead to more good. So that's the way we view things. That's why we've made the decision, for example, to join things like CHER and be part of the equality and inclusion effort, where we use our voice as a large advertiser to ensure the accurate portrayal of women and girls. And by the way, the accurate portrayal of all people, regardless of gender, race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, gender identity, religion, body type, age. Accurate portrayal eliminates bias and helps promote equality and inclusion. And then we periodically take stands. Environmental sustainability, that's a very, very important part of what companies are expected to do. And we're now focusing on achieving net zero emissions. And what we're also doing is focusing on innovating so consumers can actually reduce their carbon footprint. One of our best examples is Tide cold water cleaning, where if you wash in cold, it actually reduces the energy load that comes from heating your laundry machine, which is a big source. Probably 80% of the energy of doing the laundry comes from heating the water. That creates carbon emissions. You create a cold water laundry detergent, it allows you to reduce emissions at home. So that's a great example of being a force for good, but also a force for growth, because what it's doing is it's giving you superior performance while also being good for the environment. And so my advice to everybody is think about, what is your core offering again? What can you do to do good that makes sense for that core offering? And then figure out how it can help you drive growth. I gave you the environmental sustainability example. What we have found is that when you accurately portray people, your business will be better, because people see that you understand them and they can relate better. And there's correlation to that. More accurate portrayal leads to better growth. So good leads to growth, growth leads to more good, and on and on. But think about what is right for your company, and then figure out how you can turn it into good as well as drive growth.
Great lessons for us, Mark. We're just about out of time, and as we leave this session and let these marketers find their way through a day of learning, what would be your kind of parting message that you would like to leave our very, very broad and global audience with?
Well, take the time to really go through the work that's out there. You mentioned that there are a long run of keynotes, of webinars, of learning sessions, just some amazing work. If you get a chance, we're going to live stream the CHER session today at noon. Right. Katie Couric and Lon Revere are going to be kicking it off with an interview, and you'll just see some great work around how CHER and you all as part of the industry are making a difference in terms of really advancing equality and inclusion. And then the other thing I really hope is that this moment turns into a movement, that that we focus on always learning so we can be always leading and always driving growth. Let's don't make this just the day of learning. Think about this as the kickoff to the day of learning and every day of learning, so we can keep growing and keep building. This is a remarkable industry. All of you on this call are amazing and doing fantastic work. And the beauty of a program like this is that it is able to bring it all together so you can start to see all that exists. And that should inspire you. And I know it inspires me and inspires my team. And so I'm hoping we make this not just a moment, but a movement of learning, leading, and driving growth.
Well, we'll take that challenge and take it forward forevermore. This is the first day of learning, but we'll have many more to come, and we invite all marketers and members to be able to join the various forums that we have in training and committees and conferences and webinars and content, and engage with us to be able to fulfill what Mark has said are the pathways for growth. Mark Pritchett, thank you so very much for being with us today. We look forward to a full day with you, and thanks again.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks, everyone.